when I read القرآن إذا أردنا شيئا أن نقول له كن فيكون. That is the idea of kun. And kun is really kalima. Isa is kalima. So we should just respect. I am not the owner of the Quran. The Quran really does not belong to me. But if I respect the reference, I should build my worldview through that reference. So the Quran is saying kun fayakun. There is no doubt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator. But does it mean we cannot create? Allah will say Tabarakallahu ahsanu al-khaliqeen. Human beings, we have that ability to create, not to know only. And also Al-Quran is the revelation at the human being level. The revelation is universal concept according to the Quran himself. أوحى ربك إلى النحل أوحى في كل سماء أمرها. It's not just related to the human being, but at the human being level is a book, is Quran. What does that mean? This Quran, anything in this Quran is addressed to me as human being, and to you, it means any human being. So it means I should read it with these eyes, that this is the wahi in my environment as human being. Is the way that can al-wahi help me, or how I can reach al-wahi. So we should not really read Al-Quran as something that does not concern us. So if all these beautiful names, they doesn't have anything to do with me as human being, why I need this type of revelation? I have this question really to ask. I have an issue with this idea. I don't have anything against anyone, but with the idea itself, it does not help me. But from the beginning, you can see there's a new world view. And we should really, if we try to understand it, we should put outside all what we brought from this outside of the reference itself aside and try to see what the reference is telling us. And there's a story with Dr. Ali Shariati. He used to study, I told to Brother Walid, he used to study in Paris. And he was invited to give a lecture about Al-Hussein alayhi salam, how he lived very, great life, and he was a real human being, if you like, and high quality of human being during all his life. And he said at the end of the lecture, all this audience, they are not Muslim, they were very happy and applauded him. And they invited me to stay with them. And we stayed together till the morning. However, he said, when I went back to Iran and talked about Hussein, and Iran is Shia, and you know what does mean Hussein for Shia. He said, I have to work, first of all, I have to work 2 hours to just take out all what they have about Hussein.
The myth.
So I can introduce new ideas. It's really for us, the same thing applies for us as Muslims. We should be able to use that anhar to free ourselves from all what we inherited, so we can understand what we have. It's really more difficult for us as Muslims to see the beauty of Islam than something outsider Islam. And this is why even today, in today's, Orientalist, I was reading last night a book about Muhammad Forton Andre. Even he does not believe in Muhammad, but he said something very beautiful. He said it's very hard for us as Christians to understand Islam, and how things they are differently related because of these common things. So he said that Christian we understand Islam is very distorted way. And it's very wrong way because of that veil we brought when we approached Islam. So really my advice even for us, and we have that capability today. We are very high educated people and we have a lot of skills and tools. And together we can dig very deep to approach that worldview that Islam is bringing to the world. And we should also approach it in a way that with the ability to free ourselves from it. We should not give it to the next generation as their truth in itself. We just tell them, this is what we reached. Doubt it. Work to correct it. And to continue your journey, because it will be your journey, is not mine. Wallahu a'lam.
So really back to these, I mean, like two images of the rising soul, and we said, and the falling really soul. And really the lesson that one can learn, and as I started the discussion today by saying that how the surah will help us to in providing us with new tools to reach our objective. Because the previous surahs were really describing the situation, describing sometimes the problem, or putting the solutions in a broad way at the level of the vision, at the level of the worldview. But today, I hope that we are able to see that how to reach, how to go through that journey. And the idea of repetition is very important. You see, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى. If you do good things over and over, it becomes easier on you to do these things. And the same way, if God forbid somebody start really doing bad things over and over again, this type of behavior becomes ingrained. It becomes a habit. But Ibn Khaldun uses really the term habitus or malaka, which really means like you own. Malaka literally means something that you own. It becomes your second nature. You see what I mean? If you give and give and give, giving becomes part of you. You see what I mean? So the repetition is not like mere habit, because habit, it has the connotation of doing it in the same way. You see what I mean? But we said it should be along a spiral, if you like, path. You see what I mean? So it is really elevating you as you are repeating what seemingly looks the same action. But as Naji always reminds us that the prayer, for example, Zuhr is like 4 rak'ah. Although they look the same as units of the prayer itself. But the struggle on our side should be how I can make the second unit, the second rak'ah, better than the first one, although they look the same. But in terms of quality, to be a higher one. The same thing, the third, how can it be better than the second, and the fourth better than the third? Or the second sujood be better than the first one, bringing me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this idea really of habit forming, or the habits, I think it will have a lot of implications on really our educational systems, the system of governance, to the point that, I mean, Naji is an expert really on Ibn Khaldun.